Hey, what's up? Hello, this is Katie. Welcome back to my channel. And we're going to talk about all the books that I'm going to read in April. Oh my God, it's like impossible for me to remember what month it is next. Like, do you know how many times I called it May in my wrap up? Like so many times. It's April. Is it April? April's the next month, right? Like, oh my God, swear to God, oh my God. I wish I was making this up. I wish this was a skit. I wish this was an act. The month we're in right... No, it is April because Easter. See? The bunnies. Easter. Katie. Good God. Am I going to keep this intro? This is embarrassing. That travesty aside, which we're keeping in for authenticity and for the chaotic energy, we have to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is the Everlovely Book of the Month. So you've probably heard of Book of the Month if you're on BookTube at all. It is an amazing, fast-growing, biggest book seller and book subscription service online, period. And it's also the best price. So basically every month, a team of hundreds of people at Book of the Month will read through a bunch of anticipated and new releases to curate a list of 5 to 7 books that they think you should have your eyes on. So that way you can do what you really want to be doing, which is reading instead of researching. And what's so amazing about them too is that you don't have to get the book every month. You can skip, and their skip policy is amazing because you don't have to pay for it at all. It'll just roll over into the next month and you can get it then if you want. Also, isn't this stunning? Like, I don't know, this blue is just such a moment. Like, their branding is like kind of it. Okay. Also, another amazing thing about Book of the Month is that they have the cheapest price, hands down, for new hardcover release fiction, like, period. It says that it is retailing for $28. Do you know how much you can get this book for with my link? $9.99. $9.99. That's a third of the price. A third of the price. That's freaking crazy. You're literally not going to find that anywhere else. Now, speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about the books that we have for this month. We have a stunning covers. Adriana Trigiani's The Good Left Undone. I love this cover, and this is a pretty chunky boy. A lot of the books this month are really chunky. We have True Biz. We also have Bittersweet, How Sorrow and Longing Make Us Whole by Susan Cain. And I feel like I've been hearing about that one online, or at least the author, Susan Cain. And then I have Like a Sister. Where did I get good from? By Kelly Garrett. This one says, no one bats an eye when a Black reality TV star is found dead, except her estranged half-sister whose refusal to believe the official story leads her on a dangerous search for the truth. Like, that sounds stunning. And then the last book they sent me, which has the most stunning cover, like, guys, literally of all time. This is called Kayeki. I might be pronouncing that wrong. It's a novel by Vaishnavi Patel. Do you see this? Are you fucking kidding me? It's so beautiful. I want to thank Book of the Month so much for sponsoring me and also for sending me these books because it's always such a delight. There's a giant spider on my ceiling. Okay, thank you so much, Book of the Month. I am going to go become an exterminator. I got it. I got it. It was freaking huge, and it was hairy, and it moved so fast, and I am scared. I'm like, how did it get into this apartment? Like, how does a spider that big? Like, what crack or hole in my apartment is big enough to let in a spider like that? Like, I'm paranoid. Okay, sorry. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have like phobias of spiders, so I'm gonna move on. The first book that I'm gonna be reading in this month, I'm not gonna say the title of the month, name of the month anymore, because I'm gonna keep looking it up, but it is The Book of Cold Cases by Snow St. James. This is absolutely getting read because this is my Patreon Smut Salon book club pick for this month. This is what everybody said they wanted to read, and there is a couple people that I know that have read this so far and have told me that I'm gonna like it, so I'm very excited. So this is a like paranormal mystery, and this is where we're following 2 different women. We're following Shay and Beth, and in 1977, there was 2 women who were brutally murdered, and Beth was seen fleeing from one of the crime scenes. So she seems like the perfect suspect, but when she's put on trial, she's acquitted, and then she goes and isolates herself in her mansion so she doesn't have to face the town's judgment. Now we go to 2017, where Shay is a true crime blogger, and she accidentally bumps into Beth and is like, oh my God, can I interview you? And shockingly, Beth says yes. So they meet up at her mansion regularly. But shit is not copacetic. It's not copacetic. Like, things are moving when they haven't been touched. Shay is seeing like a little girl outside the window that isn't there. There's just a lot of paranormal stuff that's going on, and she's trying to figure out, is Beth a manipulative murderer, or is there something darker going on in this mansion? I'm excited. I'm ready. I need it to be a ghost. I swear I'm going to get my hands on this book this month. Gallant by Ve Schwab. I ordered it a while ago. There was a little mix up with Owl Crate and their shipping and the printing. So it is going to get to me hopefully in the next couple days. And I really want to physically read this. I've heard that the physical reading experience is really good. And I just love Ve Schwab. Obviously, you probably can't see it from over here, but I have a whole shrine for her. This is a YA, and we're following the 17-year-old girl, Olivia, who has been raised at a boarding school and has never been back to her actual home until one day she receives a letter inviting her back. And when she goes there, there's a lot of eerie, dark things going on, but she doesn't want to leave because this is the only place that she has ever been known is home. And she doesn't want to go back to the boarding school. So she stays there, and there's this mysterious dark figure who's ruling over the mansion. And she's kind of seeing a glimpse into I don't know if it's an alternate world. I don't know what it is, but it's her house, but it's not her house. And basically she has to kind of figure out whether she needs to protect her home and fight against this mysterious master of the house, or whether she's gonna join him. And I love when Ve Schwab does mysterious evil characters like that. I just love it. So I'm really hoping for the best with this, and I will read it this month. The Girls I've Been by Tess Sharp. I love this cover, and I've heard so many amazing things about it, and people have recommended it to me specifically, and the audiobook, so I have that on hold. It will be coming in soon, and this is about, it's a young adult. This is about our girl Nora, who is the daughter of a very infamous con artist who has been raising her daughter to be her protege. And one day, her ex-boyfriend walks in on her making out with their friend, mutual friend, Iris. And her ex-boyfriend didn't know that part of Nora because she has been a lot of different girls in her life, and she's able to put on these personalities and be different people with different people. So her ex-boyfriend didn't know about that. And since they're all friends together and they are all in the same school community, and a school, I don't know what club it is that they're in, but they're all part of it. And they have to go to the bank and deposit fundraiser money, and they have to do it together. So things go from awkward to deadly when the bank starts getting robbed while they're there fighting. But here's the thing. These bank robbers don't know who they're taking hostage. They don't know who Nora is, and she's gonna get them out of this. And I am so excited. I love a bisexual con artist queen. A book I've been meaning to read for a while now is Last Night at the Telegraph Club. So this is following a 17-year-old. Wow, I feel like almost every one of these books, the girls are 17. It's at least the third book where somebody's been 17. Anyway, her name is Lily Hugh, and she is a Chinese-American girl that is living in Chinatown in 1954. Now, she is in love with Kathleen Miller, but of course, especially in Chinatown in 1954, this is not the time or place to be safely queer, and she's having to hold it in, hold it back, hold her real self inside. But one day, her and Kathleen go to a underground lesbian bar, and it changes them completely. And even though her father is on the brink of being deported, she knows that she is willing to risk everything to let her and Kathleen's love see the light of day. And that sounds so stunning. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book, and I can't wait to read it. I need more gay stories in my life. The Man Who Died Twice. This is actually the sequel to The Thursday Murder Club, in which I really enjoyed. I gave that one 4 stars, and I'm hoping for success with this one as well. So this is about a group of senior citizens who get together every Thursday, and they try to solve cold cases. Now, because of a series of situations that happened in the first book, now they're kind of being tasked to solve current cases. And in this book, an old colleague reaches out to our main character, Elizabeth, and is begging her for help because he's in a very hairy situation with the mob. So we have the mob, for starters. That's all you needed to say. I mean, any of the beginning sentences, that's all you needed to say, but you include the mob. I'm picking it up post haste. So it's the mob, and then there's stolen jewels. There is a mobster, like mafia member, who is like totally okay with like killing anybody and doesn't care that they're like senior citizens and they're all in danger. And it is such a raucous, fun time. Like the first book was just so fun and funny. So I am really excited to pick this up, and I hope that it continues and isn't just like a duology or a trilogy. I kind of want this to just be like a new cozy mystery that I love. Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Morata. This book is so tiny and the summary is so small that this might not be the best summary because I don't want to give too much away and I didn't want to read too much into it because it is so tiny. But I have had so many people on Patreon like begging me to read this book when they knew that I had it. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Apparently, like there was one person that said that they'd already read it 5 times this year and given it they'd read it 3 times so far this year and given it 5 stars each time. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. So as far as I know, this is about a 36-year-old woman who works at Smile Mart, and she's worked, it's a convenience store, obviously, and she's worked there for 18 years, and it's the only place where she feels like she kind of has a grasp on social interactions because those are not something that really comes easily to her. I'm assuming based on that sentence in the summary that she's neurodivergent, but I don't want to say that because I don't know. That's just the vibe I was getting from the summary. And she works there and she feels like at home there. It is like a part of her. She loves Smile Mart. But her family is heavily pressuring her to get married and to finally start like a real proper career. And that basically leads her to some sort of drastic action. There's all sorts of distractions happening right now. Somebody's like drilling or sawing or something. Listen, we're persevering, okay? I'm excited to read this. I don't want to read any more about it, so I'll definitely read this month, and you can catch it in my wrap-up. There's 2 graphic novels I definitely am going to be reading this month, and I won't go super into it because they are short and one of them is part of a series. The first of which being Spy Family Volume 6. Now, I've talked about this a freaking million times. I'm not gonna just gab your ear off about it. I'll just say that it is an unwitting family of a spy, an assassin, and a telepath trying to get shit done and stop World War III from going down. And it's so funny, and it's so good, and I love it. This is Volume 6. I guess we're meeting this bitch, something Frost. I don't remember what her name is. It's like something. I don't remember what her name is. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we're super excited and can't wait to see it. We'll see. This is the last one that's published. 7 hasn't come out yet. But the other graphic novel I'm going to read is Punderland. Now, I love Hades and Persephone, and all I know is that this is a Hades and Persephone graphic novel where they're very awkward and they've had a thing for each other for a while, but have never had the courage to like be about it. And one day when they're at a festivity or festival, their friends like ply them with alcohol and then kind of push them at each other, and they like drunkenly, I think, have like some sort of kismet moment. I don't know. I'm excited, planning on reading it. I really like this art style, and it's very small, so I'm sure I'll read it in like the first week of this month and let you know what I think. And a book I will definitely be getting to this month is The Sword of Kaigen. The reason I say I'm definitely going to get to it is because I'm actually already 5 chapters in, but the audiobook is 25 hours long, and I really doubt, because this is the 30th, that I can finish it by the 1st. I say that, but I have done crazier things. But I'm not planning on doing that because I don't want to speed through this because it's epic fantasy and it's super confusing and I'm a dum-dum, okay? This is about Kaigen, which is a place, and it's about the Matsuda family. So they are very, very legendary sword fighters, and they are defending the empire, their blessed empire, okay? So what it is that they are superhuman soldiers. So they can raise the sea and create swords out of ice, and that's how they defend their empire. So okay, we're following the mother, Misaki, and she's trying to cover up her violent past. She used to be a soldier, but women in this continent, what am I talking about? In this city are not allowed to do that. So when she marries her husband, she puts all that behind her, locks it away, and tries to become a good traditional wife and mother. Now her son is having a hard time. His name's Mamoru. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Mamoru, and he is struggling to grasp his violent future because he's supposed to follow in the steps of his father and become like the greatest sword fighter. And he's not a very violent boy, so it's a little difficult, even though his mom is a very violent woman and she's trying to hold that back. And the dad, let's not even talk about the dad. I'm only 5 chapters in and I don't care. The dad's annoying. Anyway, There is a new boy that starts at Mamoru's school, and he is an outsider, and he starts to pull the wool back from Mamoru's eyes on what the Empire is actually doing. And maybe this empire that he's bred to defend is actually built on like a foundation of lies, and how the government is like messed up and is basically just breeding these people to defend it when they're not doing anything for them. And it's very wild. And Mamoru is like, what are you talking about? But he doesn't even have time to focus on that because the enemy is knocking at their door. And we're basically following where Mamoru is having to start in a war that he was not prepared for. He had not gotten through school yet. He was not prepared, and everyone's expecting a lot from him. And they're also following Misaki, his mother, who is gonna have to pick up the blade again for the first time in a long time. And I am so hoping that this is like a mother and son sword fighting duo team. Like, that's what I want to see. That'd be so good. But Erin said she sobbed reading this. So I'm very excited. I hope I love it. I hope and I pray. I hope and I pray to all the gods that exist that this book is good, because Erin's gonna be so upset if I don't like it. If I don't give it 5 stars, she's gonna unfriend me. But anyway, those are all the books that I want to read this month. And I want to thank you so much for watching this video. And if you've gotten this far into the video, if you want to leave the sword emoji for the Sword of Kaigen, that would be absolutely perfect. Let me know if you've read or are planning to read any of these books this month, or if you're part of my Patreon and you're going to be reading the Book of Cold Cases with me. That's very exciting. I can't wait for our live show because I've heard I'm going to like this book. So if you want to follow me on Patreon, the link is going to be down below, as well as my Goodreads and Instagram link if you want to follow me on any of those platforms as well. And all of that being said, I hope you're having an amazing day, evening, night, dusk, dawn, whatever it is you're having in whatever part of the world you're having it in. And I will see you in a video coming very soon. Bye.